Hello and welcome back. Today, I just want to tell you guys some little stories. Just whisper ramble, tell you some fun little stories, things that have happened in my life, that kind of thing. Just do some light face touching with that. How's that sound? Okay, so I have a little list here. And the first one I have is watching Flyaway Home and trying to incubate fridge eggs like her. Let me explain. So, if you have ever seen the movie Fly Away Home, you'll know that there is a little girl in that movie who goes to live with her dad and ends up finding these wild goose eggs in the woods. And she has these little overalls on, and she ends up stuffing the eggs into all the little pockets on her overalls, if I remember correctly. It's been years since I've seen the movie, but it's a very good movie. So, she takes those eggs home and puts them in like a drawer or a box or something, and has a light in there, like over them, to incubate them. And lo and behold, guess what happens? Some baby geese hatch. So little me saw this, and I was like 6 or 7, and my mind just exploded. I thought she was the coolest person ever, and that was the greatest idea in the world. So what did I do? I went straight to the fridge, and I got out a few eggs. I don't remember how many, probably just like 2 or 3, maybe 4 at the most. And I went and I put them in my dresser. I put fridge eggs in my dresser because I thought I was going to make some baby chicks with them, because I didn't understand how any of that worked. So, and I remembered the girl in the movie had a light shining on top of them the whole time, and the light made the babies hatch. So I was like, okay, I need to get a light. Like, that's how I'm gonna make these little baby birds hatch. So the only light I could find and had access to was a flashlight. So what did I do? I took this little flashlight and I turned it on and I put it in the drawer with these cold eggs. And they were all like nestled up in like my pajamas or something. So I thought I was going to have some baby chicks. Now, thank goodness my mom did my laundry at this time, because I was just a little kid. And she found them, like, I would say probably the next day, thank goodness. And she was like, what in the world are you doing? You could not put fridge eggs, like cold, unfertilized eggs, into a dresser drawer with a flashlight that at this point was probably dead by now, and expect baby chicks to happen. But I did not believe her. I thought she was gaslighting me and just didn't want baby birds all in the house. I didn't understand that she was actually telling the truth, and that that's not how it works. She had completely different eggs than I had, the girl in the movie. So there's that. And then I remember, so when we had been watching that movie, my aunt and uncle were over. And after my mom found these eggs and took care of them, I don't remember what she did, in my dresser, she called my aunt, which is her sister, and was like, guess what your niece just did? And she told her about my little egging incident. So, and I remember her saying, like, I'm so glad that I found them before they rotted or something. Like, the whole house would have smelled like rotten eggs, just because, and my clothes, probably would have been ruined. So, luckily for me, she did my laundry and found them in that drawer. But I've always been an animal lover, And I just think that is the funniest thing, that I 100% thought that that's how I could have all these baby chicks going around. Who knows, I might have thought these chicken eggs would make baby geese. I don't remember. Children are very interesting creatures. Okay, next on the list we have taking walks up to the cemetery. So, in my old house, my childhood home, my favorite place in the world, that no longer exists because it was bulldozed down once we moved. That's a whole other story. I need some chapstick. The one time I don't have chapstick on me. Anyway, my favorite place in the world was my childhood home. And every night, almost every night, me and my mom and sister would walk down the road a little bit. And then, so we'd walk down the road. And then there was this long driveway, like path thing that went this way. And we would walk up it. And then there's this big cemetery, like back in there, super close to our house. So we would either walk up the path just to get some steps in, and I'm sure it'd tire us kids out before bed, or we would ride our little bikes once we were able to ride bikes and go up to the cemetery. And most of the time we wouldn't go actually in it, we would just like the long path and the area around it. But we were always really respectful, and to this day I still feel a strong connection with cemeteries, just because I've lived by them my whole life. Like, I live by one now, and almost every day as of late I've been walking up to the church that's right next to it, and it has this like awning type thing, and I'll sit there and journal for hours, and it's just so peaceful. And like right in front of the spot where I journal is the cemetery, the other cemetery, not the same as the first one. But yeah, it's been a theme my whole life, just living by cemeteries and loving them. Okay, burning my hair every time I would lean over candles to smell them. Again, pretty self-explanatory, and I don't still do this, but when I was little, I had long red hair. I've always had long hair. Well, there was this stage when I was a teenager where I cut it to about here, but for the most part, I've had long hair my whole life. So, and I love candles. I still love candles. Like, they smell so good, right? So little me would go to lean over and sniff a candle and not realize that my hair had, boom, fallen into, not all of it, just like usually like a little piece would, catch on fire. And then my mom would smell burnt hair and come running because she knew exactly what happened, because it happened so often. And I remember distinctly. So there's like a piece of my hair, we'll say it was like this. I was leaning over, sniffing the candle, and I see something on the corner of my eye, and I smell the burning hair smell, which is disgusting. And I look, and I vividly remember there was like a flame at the end of it, and I watched it trail up my hair, and I just started screaming and like fanning at it, just like trying to get my hair to stop burning. And my mom came running and was like, "How many times must you do this before you learn?" So there's that, me burning my hair with candles. Then we have liking salads out of nowhere. So I'm a vegetarian, and I began my vegetarian journey at age 15. And before then, I didn't like any vegetables at all, except for potatoes. I love potatoes and corn. I liked corn. Now I'm a big veggie eater. I love veggies. I've learned to love them. I've learned how to cook them in ways that I do enjoy eating them and that kind of thing. But, I would say most kids don't really enjoy vegetables, and I was definitely one of those. And I'm an extremely picky eater anyway. So, out of nowhere, when I was like probably 14 or 15, I just started craving salads. And it's weird because I didn't like anything that was in a salad. I didn't like lettuce. I didn't like tomatoes. I still don't like tomatoes. I didn't like carrots, anything that would be in a salad. Spinach, hated it. The only thing I liked in a salad would be ranch and croutons and cheese. That's what I would have liked. So it was so strange that out of nowhere I was craving a salad. Because, like, logically I know I don't like anything that's in a salad except for the unhealthy parts. So why would I want to just eat this bowl of veggies if I don't like veggies? Didn't make any sense. But I kept saying, like, how I wanted a salad and how I was craving a salad. And then finally, I got my first salad. I don't remember where it was from or what kind it was, but just a little salad to try, because no one thought that I was going to actually finish it or like it, because I don't like salad. I didn't like vegetables at the time. So I eat it. I eat my first salad, my first bite, and I'm like, this is exactly what I have been craving. This is it. This is salad. I've never had salad, but this is it. How many times am I going to say salad in this video? But yeah, I went from hating vegetables to craving a salad that I'd never had, never tasted, never wanted to taste before this. And then I tried it, and I've liked salads ever since. Actually, there for a while I got really burnt out on salads, because when I was a baby vegetarian, I was like, what else is there to eat? Now I know better, but yeah, there for a while I ate a lot of salads. So there's that. And a word of advice, if you're ever craving something that you've never liked before, give it a go. Give it a go. I would have never thought that I would have liked veggies or salads, How many times am I going to say salad? I'm driving myself crazy. Okay, next we have a fake pea tattoo for years. Now, I am a big fan of Panic at the Disco, and I have been, again, since I was a teenager. And I thought, for some reason, I don't know why, that it would be cool to pretend that I had a Panic at the Disco tattoo. So, what I would do every single day on my, inside of my, my right ankle, or was it my left? Oh my goodness. I had this thing for years. How could I not remember? Okay. Left, right. It was on my, I want to say right, but then I'm thinking it was actually left. I think it was my right. We'll just say right. I don't know. I think it was my inside of my right ankle. It was this letter P. Like panic. And it kind of had a little point at the bottom of the P that looked, I thought, fancy. And then a spiral at the, so okay, watch this. So the stick for the P, there's a little point at the bottom. And then, you know how P does this? Well, mine had a little spiral here, and then it went to this side. There was a little spiral here, and then it did that, and then there was the point at the bottom, if that makes any sense. And the pointy bit underneath it had a circle, a black circle underneath. So the Panic at the Disco thing is, it has that exclamation point. So this was my fancy P, and then the pointy part at the bottom of the P was the exclamation point, and then the dot underneath was the dot of the exclamation. It's hard to explain. I need to draw it out or show you a picture if I still have one. I don't know, that was a long time ago. But yeah, I would redraw that on every single day with Sharpie for years. And I don't even know if I've even confessed this to some of my closest friends. This is a big secret, because all the other kids in junior high school thought that this was real. I'm sure a lot of them thought that it was fake, but it looked pretty real to us kids anyway. And everyone was always, so they were yeah, she has a tattoo. She's so cool. When really it was just Sharpie that I would redraw every single day. And I would also spray hairspray on it and do this thing with baby powder. I don't really remember, but I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it, and that made it not only stay longer, but look real, and kind of that like almost glossy effect that tattoos have. So there was that. Yeah, fake tattoo that I redrew on forever. I don't know, I really don't know how many years I had it, but it was, I mean, like 2 or 3, maybe more, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot of commitment to draw on this fake tattoo. Like, I'm at that point, might as well have gotten it, like, for real. So there's that. And then my last one I have written is Bolt the hamster. So when I was in kindergarten, I got my first like real pet, and around the time that I was in kindergarten, the movie Bolt had come out, which was about that dog that I think was super fast. I don't know if he had powers, I don't remember. I haven't seen that in forever. But this dog named Bolt. And I named my hamster Bolt, and it was just this like fat little orange hamster. So I named him that after this dog that I thought was super cool. And I would be away at kindergarten, and my little sister, who's a few years younger than me, would still be at home while I was at school. And one day, she somehow left the cage door open, like on the top, and he somehow escaped. And I know everybody has a tragic hamster story, and I sure do. So for the longest time, we could not find him. And I was just heartbroken that this little guy had gotten out, because either he was somehow lost in the house or he had somehow gotten outside, and I had a lot of cats, so I knew that he would have been history pretty much. So we did end up finding him. In the kitchen a while later, we smelled this dead mouse smell, and we were like, ooh. So my mom like looked all over for it, and the smell was coming from the corner of the kitchen. And she was looking and couldn't find anything. And she ended up like moving the fridge from behind the wall. And this is gross, TMI. So, not TMI, but just a warning. This is kind of gross. Somehow he crawled back there and gotten stuck. I don't know what the back of a fridge looks like, really. I don't know, and I didn't see it, and my mom just explained it to little me, but from what I remember her explaining, it had basically been freeze-dried to the back of the fridge somehow, because, like, I don't know if it was super cold back there, and there was, like, ice or a fan, something. Somehow he gotten stuck and died and frozen in like a really gross way or something back there. So that's my tragic hamster story. So I hope you guys enjoyed my silly little childhood stories. Oh my goodness, I have so many stories to tell. These are just a few ones that I just thought of the top of my head and wrote down because I was really excited to share. So I hope you enjoyed and were able to make me giggle or relax a little bit. And whether you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, or night, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay? Love you guys,